Hey, Central States team, I wanted to take a minute to give you an update on the COVID-19 situation. As you're probably aware, the federal government has released a plan to reopen America. And that plan is comprised of 3 different phases. Now, although it's a plan from the federal government, it's given full authority to the states to monitor the situation with COVID-19 and the number of cases in their area and decide on the implementation timing for each phase. Now, phase 1 starts to reopen non-essential businesses. Things like dine-in restaurants, the entertainment district and large venues, movie theaters, sporting events, health and fitness clubs, and churches. So when a state that we are operating in enters phase 1, this for us will be a trigger to fully resume normal business operations with all functions for that location. And that means that anybody that was not reporting to work, they were teleworking or working from home, it will be to return to your normal position at the office. Now, even though we're going to start going through this reopening plan state by state, I want to remind you we're going to stick to our COVID-19 practices. Okay, and it starts with good personal hygiene. Washing our hands, cleaning our workspaces, sanitizing those high touch points and contact surfaces, and maintaining social distancing, keeping 6 feet apart. Now, we're fortunate enough that the number of people versus our square footage throughout our operations allows us to do that and work as normal. We're going to keep some of the things that we implemented to help with social distancing. For example, using conference calls for meetings, having smaller size of people working together so that we can always be respectful of that 6 feet. But we're going to continue to be very mindful and disciplined with social distancing. Also, if you're feeling sick or have any symptoms that could be related to COVID-19, stay home. Stay home. Call your HR business partner, let them know what's happening, and they will talk through with you what your opportunities are to handle that sick time and then when you should return to work. If you've come in close contact with somebody that could be suspect of having COVID-19 or tested positive for COVID-19, I want to remind you of the playbook. Again, stay home, call your HR business partner, and then you have a couple of options. You can return to work under certain conditions. 1, you have no symptoms. 2, you're willing to take your temperature and have us take your temperature every day before the start of your shift and mid-shift to ensure it's below 100.4. 3, you got to wear a mask. And you'll have to do those things for at least 14 days from the time of last contact with the individual that was suspect or a confirmed case. Okay? Now, if you're somebody that's high risk, and you've been somebody that's been very strictly quarantined during this whole period because of your medical conditions or vulnerabilities, all right, even as we enter phase 1, we are not forcing you to come back to work. Okay? If you're going to be somebody that wants to maintain that strict quarantine discipline and you're not going to be participating in dining at restaurants and in those large venue opportunities in the entertainment district, etc., because of your concerns, we want you to contact us. Get with your HR business partner. They're going to put you in touch with Robin Rudisell, our VP of HR, and she will talk with you about your medical conditions so we can maintain confidentiality, and she will also talk with you about your options given your concerns and your personal situation. Okay? After phase 1 comes phase 2, and that really opens up other things. It opens up daycares and schools to return to business as normal, and also further loosens the social distancing guidelines. For us, that'll be fully at normal, all business practices. And what I'm most looking forward to is all the way down through our customer chain. That should allow them to freely work again and hopefully be on our way to back to normal from the sales line and get it very aggressive in the market, hopefully recovering from this period of time that we've had. You know, in closing, I want to give you an update on the state of the business. So we're more than halfway through April, and we're kind of holding on in April to our plan. We're just a little short, and I'm hopeful that if we continue to work, continue to be aggressive, that we can close the month and meet April. And we've had a couple locations that have struggled. Michigan City and Claysburg have been the most impacted by the coronavirus and the impact on their sales, to the point where we had to furlough some individuals in both locations because the sales level wasn't there to support the work inside the plants. Now those people are not laid off. They remain active employees. They have our full set of benefits, and we're able to do that to furlough them with very little impacts to their personal well-being, given some of the provisions of the federal government's CARES Act. And I'm hopeful we can get the sales back up in those locations as quickly as possible so they can return to the Central States family, and we will continue to watch that. For the rest of us, we got to keep working. Probably the next location that is still a little behind is in Texas, and the Texas division is hanging on, and sales are slowly starting to creep back up. But right now it's fragile. We got to keep working, and all of us have got to be responsible, fighting for sales, really doing a good job serving customers and helping them continue to work their business and stabilize their business and minimize their expenses. And that's everything from reducing scrap to watching our expenses in all areas, to reducing overtime wherever possible. All of those things, it's a very critical time over the next couple of months. I appreciate the continued commitment, and thanks to everybody for continuing to fight. We're going to get through this, and we're going to be stronger on the other side. Thanks.